Violence and domestic violence. Violence isn't just what you see on fictional films on television and doesn't only exist in storybooks either. It is a real worldwide issue and should be taken into consideration instead of being ignored. So, what is violence? Violence is the behavior involving physical and/or psychological force intended to harm, damage, or injure any individual. Violence can come in different forms. Verbal, to harm someone emotionally with abusive language or to taunt them in a mocking manner. This type of violence is also displayed in cyberbullying. Wars. This form of violence is fatal and causes a mass number of deaths and casualties. An example of wars is World War I, in which millions of people from different backgrounds died. Sexual. To sexually abuse someone in which harming them physically and emotionally and immensely lowering their self-esteem are all causes of this type of violence. Domestic violence. This is violence that is displayed in everyday homes between families or couples. It is usually consists of the parents fighting and quarreling and can cause deadly consequences. Who does it involve? Violence can be targeted to simply anyone in the world. It doesn't matter whether the person is young, old, poor or rich. Usually it involves 1. The oppressor and 2. The oppressed. Violence can be performed through many ways, physically and mentally. For example, a person hitting someone else is a form of violence. Domestic violence involves the family. An example is when a husband is attacking or showing force to his wife. What has been done to resolve this issue? There are many laws that have been applied and put into action in order to prevent all forms of violence. They range from national laws to even international laws. An example of state laws is the New South Wales Crimes, Domestic and Personal Violence Act 2007. An example of international law would be the Universal Declaration of Human Rights set forth by the UN. The UDHR is a set of laws placed upon the countries within the UN to help keep stability and peace between countries and individuals. What propositions can we make? In order to diminish violence in the society, we can add stricter laws in each country, have the UN put harsher penalties, punishments and consequences on offences, make more campaigns and training sessions in order to inform the society, and educate young students about the issue of violence. In order to stop domestic violence, we should encourage people to become more open so they can make the community aware when they are subjected to domestic violence. Add extra policies for the ownership of a gun to make it more difficult for aggressive people to own weapons. And establish more helplines for citizens to use when they are subjected to domestic violence. History of violence. During the Neolithic period, often referred to as the Stone Age, which began about 10,000 years ago, agriculture began to replace hunting and gathering as the principal means for obtaining food. At the same time, the egalitarianism equality idea changed when classes started to appear. In many cases, the leaders held up absolute power, thus a hierarchy was born. When kingdoms started to emerge, there were many displays of power to obtain natural human wants. This resulted in extreme violence such as wars. This was a huge fight between two kingdoms to gain a specific want or need. Although violence started out physical, there are still many ways it can be psychological. In more modern times, violence has occurred by using words, usually slanderous. These words can affect someone's emotion and if extreme can cause the victim to go to extremes such as suicide. Case studies of violence. There are many case studies of violence, including the Holocaust, where many Jews were killed by Hitler. Gurjit Dhaliwal, who is a mother of 2 who committed suicide at age 45 because of 25 years of abuse, and Rebecca Sedgwick, who was a 12-year-old girl who also committed suicide by leaping to her death because of excessive bullying in her school. Domestic violence is a real issue. And thanks for watching.